If your baby has a flat spot on one side of their head, the problem may not be coming from the head alone. Flathead syndrome in babies is often connected to the way a baby positions and moves their head throughout the day. If your baby has tight neck muscles that keep pulling your baby's neck towards the same side, that repeated pressure can contribute to flathead syndrome and make that flat spot more noticeable over time. Parents often ask me, what does torticollis look like on baby? The answer is not always obvious. Some of the first signs of torticollis in the baby may be a strong preference for looking in one direction, difficulty turning the head fully towards the opposite side, or a consistent head tilt towards one shoulder. And here's the important part. If you only reposition your baby's head without addressing why the neck keeps pulling them back towards that same position, your baby may continue resting on that flat spot. In this video, I'm going to show you how torticollis and flathead syndrome can become connected, 3 signs parents should look for, and what you should address first when your baby has both a tight neck and a flat spot. Hi, I'm Cherrick Gordon, pediatric physical therapist. For more than 25 years, I've worked with babies and families to identify movement problems that can sit underneath concerns like torticollis and flathead syndrome. One of the most important things I want parents to understand is this. The flat spot may be the problem you can see, but the way your baby moves their neck may be the part of the reason it keeps happening. Let's start with the connection between the tight neck and the flat spot. When a baby has torticollis, one side of the neck may be tighter or working a little bit differently than the other side. That can make it easier for the baby to turn towards one direction and harder to turn fully towards the opposite side. Now imagine your baby spending hours each day with their head resting in that preferred position. The same area of the skull keeps pressing against the mattress. Because a young baby's skull is still soft and growing, that repeated pressure can contribute to flathead syndrome. Once a flat spot develops, the shape of the head may make it easier for your baby to settle back into that same area. The baby turns towards the preferred side, rests on the flat spot, and then becomes even less likely to turn away from it. This creates a cycle. The neck is tight. The baby prefers one direction, pressure builds on the same part of the head, the flat spot becomes more noticeable, and the baby continues returning to the same spot, and we have that loop over and over again. This is why I do not look at flathead syndrome in babies as only a head-shaped problem. I want to look at how your baby is moving their neck and why they keep choosing the same position. Repositioning can reduce pressure on the flat area, but if tight neck muscles continue pulling your baby's neck back towards the same side, repositioning alone may not be enough. So before we talk about what parents can do, let's look at 3 signs that may tell you torticollis is contributing to your baby's flat spot. The first sign is that your baby consistently prefers looking towards one side. You may notice that when your baby is sitting in a supported seat or being carried, they keep turning their head towards the same direction. Even when you place a toy or your face or another interesting object on the opposite side, your baby may have difficulty turning fully to look at it, or your baby might turn halfway or be able to come to midline and then freeze there where baby is not able to go fully in the opposite direction. The second sign is a consistent head tilt towards the same side. Baby with torticollis may tilt their head towards one shoulder while their chin rotates towards the opposite side. That tilt may be subtle at first, but it can become easier for you to see it when your baby is sitting upright or they're lying on their back or looking at you face to face. The third sign is limited neck movement. Your baby may be able to turn easily in one direction, but stop early or resist or become uncomfortable when turning the other way. Some of the signs that you can look at when you try to get your baby to turn in the other direction is hand movement, or also legs kicking and just baby seeming uncomfortable while you're trying to get your baby to turn their head towards their non-favorite side. You may also notice that your baby turns their whole body instead of moving their head independently. These are some of the most common signs of torticollis in baby. When parents search what does torticollis look like on a baby, I tell them not to look for only one dramatic sign, look for a pattern. The same head turn, the same tilt, and the same difficulty moving towards one side throughout the day. Now compare those neck signs with the location of the flat spot. If your baby always prefers looking towards the right, for example, you may notice more flattening along the right side or the back of your baby's head, because that area is receiving repeated pressure. The exact pattern can vary, so parents should not use this alone to diagnose torticollis. But when the head preference and a flat spot consistently appear on the same side, that is a strong indication to have your baby's neck movement evaluated. The key question is not only where is the flat spot, the better question is, why does my baby's head keep returning to that same position? And while you're checking your baby's neck movement and head position, this is also a good time to look at your baby's overall development. I created a free developmental milestone checklist to help you track important movement skills and identify areas you may want to discuss with your pediatrician or a pediatric physical therapist. You can download it using the link in the description below. So what should you do first if your baby has both a tight neck and a flat spot? The first step is to stop treating these as two completely separate problems. You want to look at your baby's head shape, but you also want to look at how your baby moves throughout the day. Which direction do they prefer to look at? Can they turn equally in both directions? Do they keep tilting towards the same shoulder? And do they return to the same resting position even after you reposition them? The second step is to reduce repeated pressure during supervised awake time. This may include more tummy time, carrying your baby in different positions, changing where you place toys, and encouraging your baby to look towards the less preferred side. The goal is not to force the head into a new position. The goal is to give your baby a reason and more opportunities to actively move away from the flat area. And this is important. Continue placing your baby on their back for sleep. The positioning changes I am talking about should happen while your baby is awake and supervised. The third step is to have your baby's neck movement evaluated. If you're seeing a strong preference, a consistent tilt, or difficulty turning in one direction, a pediatrician or pediatric physical therapist can help determine whether tight neck muscles, weakness, positioning habits, or another factor may be contributing to the problem. The earlier you recognize the pattern, the sooner you can begin working on both sides of the problem, reducing pressure on the flat spot and helping your baby move their neck more evenly in both directions. But there is one mistake I see parents make all the time. They spend the entire day turning their baby's head away from the flat spot, but they never address why their baby keeps turning back. If baby's neck is tight, your baby may return to the same position over and over again. That is why repositioning should not be passive only. Your baby also needs opportunities to actively turn, look, reach, and move towards the less preferred side. So remember this, not only move your baby's head, help your baby learn to move their own head. So let's bring everything together. Flathead syndrome in babies is not always only a head shape problem. Sometimes tight neck muscles or an uneven movement pattern cause a baby to repeatedly turn towards the same side and place pressure on the same area of the back of baby's skull. In my next video, I'm going to walk you through a practical daily routine using positioning, movement, and gentle neck activities and stretches to help address both problems together.